Hi, I'm Donna McDonald from the Institute of Gerontology at Wayne State University, and I'd like to welcome you to a series of educational videos created to help you on your journey in caregiving, whether as a professional or a home-based caregiver. These videos were made possible by a grant called Functional Aging and Mindfulness for Seniors. This series is about improving sleep for seniors. Our presenter is Dana Rizzo, a well-seasoned nurse with over 35 years in the field of nursing, not only in a hospital setting, but in senior living. She has a passion for education, and I'd like to welcome Dana Rizzo.
Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for being here with us today. We know how important sleep is for all of us. Today, we're going to discuss what causes poor sleep patterns and insomnia. We're going to discuss sleep mechanics and what that is and the stages of sleep. We're going to identify sleep architecture, which is called the Hypnogram patterns, and 8 practical tips for a sounder sleep. And all of us love to sleep. Let's just do a better job with it. How do you feel in the morning? Are you groggy and grumpy? Are you relaxed, refreshed, and ready to go? The CDC, Center for Disease Center, states that insomnia, which is the trouble falling asleep and staying asleep, is the most common complaint of most seniors, most people. The CDC states there's other chronic disorders like sleep apnea, restless leg syndrome, or narcolepsy, which can also cause disturbances to your sleep. CDC says that stress really contributes to insomnia. CDC recommends 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night. And more than 1 in 3 Americans do not get the 7 to 9 hours of sleep that is required. And they even came up with something called the coronasomnia related to the coronavirus and COVID, because there was a huge surge of sleep disturbances over the last few years as a result of the pandemic related to COVID. So insomnia is characterized by trouble falling asleep, awakening during the night multiple times, and then fitful sleep where you're just very restless. It creates a very drowsy person during the day, often someone that gets anxious, irritable, and forgetful, and they have poor concentration. Insomnia is the most common sleep disorder. And insomnia is often not a single disorder. It's a combination of things. Insomnia is a general symptom, like having the symptom of pain or symptom of fever. 50% of insomnia cases stem from psychological or emotional problems. Doctors like to treat the underlying cause of insomnia. And 2 approaches in treating insomnia is with behavioral therapy and medication. Sleep deprivation increases the risk for several chronic conditions, and sleep deprivation is another term for insomnia. If you're obese, it's a chronic condition that will affect your sleeping, because if you're obese and you have a lot of abdominal fat, it actually, when you sleep, it actually compresses the lower lungs, and it can make you a little short of breath during the night. Diabetes elevates your cortisol, which is a stress hormone, which raises your blood sugar, which often causes you to urinate many times a night. It's normal to urinate 2 times a night, but some people have reported getting up and going to the bathroom 5-6 times a night, and they'll have elevated blood sugars. High blood pressure can lead to sleep deprivation. Heart disease, when you have high cholesterol levels, high triglycerides, you also have higher blood pressures. Mental illness like major depressions and anxiety can cause sleep deprivation. Dementia, it's found to, people are found to have more amyloid plaques in their brain that can lead to dementia and sleep deprivation. Certain viral infections increases our susceptibility to sleep deprivation. There's something called drowsy driving. And according to the government reports, drowsy driving is responsible for 25% of fatal highway crashes. Drowsy driving, 25% fatal highway crashes. Now, the sleep mechanics are pretty darn interesting. In the past, scientists used to believe that our brains turn off during our sleep and it remained unchanged during the night. It was a void period for our brains. That's what they taught me many years ago. We now know that through the use of an electroencephalogram, EEGs of the brain, that the brain is very active during our sleep periods. In fact, the EEG show distinct patterns with different brainwave activities during our sleep. And these different stages are referred to as sleep mechanics. During sleep, the brain is so dynamic, it's constantly moving. The brain is encoding new memories, it's storing information, and it's called consolidating information. So the brain is really working hard to store the new memories we created during the day and to store the information and to consolidate and decide what information don't we need, what do we need. During sleep, the brain cleans out toxins and there is growth and development that occurs while we sleep. The brain, the neurons are growing and developing, and the brain is cleaning out any toxins. During sleep, even the immune system takes inventory of our body to determine if there are any new threats, either bacterial threats or viral threats, etc. So it's amazing how all of the systems of our body need they need that sleep time, 7 to 9 hours, to continue to get ready for the next day. Now, the stages of sleep or sleep architecture, and there's quite a few of those, and I have pictures of that. There's the quiet non-REM sleep, and REM means rapid eye movement. So in the stages of sleep, stage 1, which is sleep architecture, you are just laying your head down, it's quiet, and you're not yet fully asleep, but your brain is idling in a movable body. You can move your body, turn it side to side to find the most comfortable position in bed, etc. Your eyes are closed and the brain cells are no longer receiving visual input to analyze. And that's because your eyes are closed. If you open your eyes, you're giving your brain all kinds of visual input to process. But as we're getting ready to sleep, the bedroom is dark, we're closing our eyes, and our brains are idling, but our bodies are still very movable. But once your eyes are closed, your brain waves begin to slow down to a steady rhythmic pattern. And these steady rhythmic pattern are called alpha wave pattern. And the individual is very calm, they're very relaxed, but it's a relaxed wakefulness, which means they're very easily awoken. There are 3 stages of quiet sleep. There's stage N1, which is the transition from wakefulness into a light sleep. It takes about 5 minutes, and those are called theta waves. Then there's stage 2, N2, of light sleep. This is the first stage of true sleep, and it lasts about 10 to 25 minutes. And we start seeing sleep spindles, which occur, which are these brief bursts of activity in the brain when memory consolidation begins. The brain is starting to file all of that information and bring it together. Then there's stage 3, N3, and these are deep sleep or slow wave sleep, and we see large, slow delta waves. And here we are, stage 1, stage 2. Now we're starting to see the spindles. Stage 3, stage 4, you're seeing a lot of spindles, a lot of consolidation of information. and then stage 5 when you're in deep, deep sleep. So this is called sleep architecture. Stage 1, stage 2, there's wakefulness. Stage 2, you're starting to get into that deep sleep. Takes about 10 to 20 larger delta waves. Stage 4, more of the spindles, and then stage 5. Again, here we are. Awake, stage 1 is the non-REM, non-rapid eye movement, alpha waves, and here we have them. Stage 2, non-REM, theta waves, they're getting a little bit bigger, and you start seeing sleep spindles. Stage 3 and stage 4, non-REM, non-rapid eye movement, delta waves, these are the large waves. And then rapid eye movements, which is deep, deep sleep, stage 5. And you can see you're very, very deep in your body. It's very difficult to wake you up. And when my husband gets into this level, I have to really jar him awake to try to get him awake because he's in a deep sleep. Now, in the dreaming REM sleep, this is where we do a lot of dreaming in that REM stage, and that's this stage. You're in such a deep state that you're really going into memories. And scientists believe that dreaming occurs, and it's an active brain in a paralyzed body. So when you're in the REM state, and this is my husband, his brain is really active. He's dreaming, but his body, it's very difficult to wake him up. His body isn't movable. All your vital signs increase, and your sympathetic nervous system actually starts to function more, which creates the fight or flight response. And it's twice as active as when you are awake. Can you imagine that? Deep sleep restores your body. REM sleep restores our mind. So deep sleep restores our body, and REM, rapid eye movement sleep, which is stage 5, restores our minds. It clears out the irrelevant information we collected during the day, and it facilitates our learning and our memory. 3 to 5 times a night, we enter the REM sleep pattern. It's about every 90 minutes. So that means when you get up to go to the bathroom, it's okay. It's expected at least 2 times a night for seniors. But when you go back to sleep, you're going to go back into REM sleep again. And it happens 3 to 5 times a night. Rem Rebound means you make up for the lost REM sleep when you had to get up to go to the bathroom. It's called Rem Rebound. Your body is able to put you right back into that stage 5 sleep pattern, and you're able to recover and restore your body and your mind. This is called a hypnogram. And the hypnogram, it looks like this because it kind of looks like a skyline of buildings. In stage 1, you're just about ready to go to sleep. Stage 2, deeper sleep. Stage 3, you're getting into a deeper slumber. Then you go into rapid eye movement, which is that stage 5, very, very deep sleep. It happened once, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times for the night. So it can happen anywhere from 3 to 5 times a night. You can still have your brief awakening moments here. That's probably when you get the impulse to go to the bathroom. But again, you go right back into REM sleep, which allows your mind to recover and your body to get ready for the next day. So here let's say you go to bed at midnight. This is occurring at 1:30 a.m., 3 a.m., 5 a.m., and then again at 6:30 a.m. Practical tips for a sounder sleep. You want to create a sleep sanctuary in your bedroom. Make it a sleep-friendly bedroom. You want to control the noise. Make sure that the windows are closed if there's outside activity and noise from neighbors or cars, traffic. You want to control the noise. You want to dim bright lights. You want to avoid blue lights, which are on the back screens of your iPads or your computers. After 9 p.m., you should avoid the computer. Avoid TV after 9 p.m. because, again, you're getting that bright blue light behind the screen. Don't read from backlit electronic devices like an iPad. If they're backlit, they're going to stimulate your brain and make it harder for you to sleep. My husband used to love to read his iPad late at night until 10, 11 o'clock. And I remember that he said, I can't sleep after I read that iPad. And it was because it was backlit. So now he switched to the old-fashioned novel paperback. He's sleeping much better. You want to use dimmer switchers in bathrooms and in bedrooms so that if you get up to go to the bathroom, you have a dimmer switch that you can turn on to see where the commode is without that really bright light that kind of shocks your system. You want to keep a very comfortable temperature in the bedroom. It cannot be too hot or too cold. And that's really important. Try relaxation rituals, soft music before you go to bed, warm baths or warm showers. Do some easy stretches just to work out your muscles. Read a book or magazine by soft light. Use soft bed linen, even with a lavender aroma. In fact, even the hotels now, like Staybridge or Marriott Suites, they often will give you a little vial of lavender to put on your pillows and your linens, because lavender has a tendency to put us to sleep, just like lemon oil has the ability to wake us up and stimulate us. So try these relaxation rituals before going to bed to get yourself in the mood and to give your body permission to start slowing down and relaxing to prepare for going to bed. You want to stick to a schedule, and a regular sleep schedule keeps the circadian sleep and wake cycles synchronized. So even if you're at a party or you're on vacation, you want to get up about the same time every day, even after a party. If you cannot fall asleep within 20 to 30 minutes, the experts say to actually leave your bed and do something relaxing until you become sleepy. I know a lot of times I've gotten out of my bed and I've gone into the living room and I read my book, and sure enough, I just have to read 1 or 2 pages and I become sleepy again and I go back to bed. Negotiate your naps. You're allowed to have power naps. It's a good thing though, but naps can take away from your evening sleep. You want to plan a nap into your schedule soon after lunch. Soon after lunch. Nap should be no longer than 30 to 40 minutes. They like for you to have a nap before 2 o'clock. Anything after 2 o'clock often will interfere with your going to bed at night. Keep a sleep diary to uncover clues about what is disturbing your sleep. I did this and I discovered that I was opening up my bills late at night. I would get home from work and then go through the mail with my husband. And if there was a unplanned bill that came in, I would be thinking about that bill when I went to bed at night. And I didn't like it. It kept me awake. You want to write down the time you go to bed and when you woke up. You want to document what beverages you had, any foods. If you exercised, exercise is fabulous, but you want to not exercise up to 2 hours before you go to bed. So if you normally go to bed at 10, you shouldn't exercise past 8 p.m. at night. When you document when you stop looking at electronic devices, document what stressors you encounter during the day. You want to curb caffeine intake. Caffeine blocks adenosine, which is a brain chemical that helps us to fall asleep. And that caffeine blocks it. Caffeine is also a diuretic that makes you urinate a lot during the night. You want to avoid caffeine after 2 p.m. You can even switch to decaffeinated coffee. The experts say that 2 or 3 cups, and we're talking 8-ounce cups of coffee, caffeinated coffee a day is good for you. But again, no more than 2 to 3 cups a day of caffeinated beverages of coffee. Avoid caffeine, and whether that be in your Diet Coke or in your iced tea after 2 p.m. Be very aware of that. Practical tips. you want to use your diet to master melatonin. Melatonin is a hormone produced by your brain that plays a big role in regulating sleep cycles, and it changes in exposure to light, and which mediates how much melatonin you're producing. So the more light you get, you tend to make more melatonin to help you sleep at night. For example, when daylight fades, your body begins to churn out more of the sleep-inducing chemicals. So the more sleep, the more sun you get, the less melatonin. The darker it gets as daylight fades, your body starts to produce more melatonin, which makes you sleep better. Melatonin is also available in a supplement form and is a popular alternative to prescription sleep aids. Unfortunately for caregivers, melatonin production usually decreases with age. So that's why seniors tend to say, I can get by with less sleep than 7 to 9 hours. When I was young, I needed 7 to 9 hours. But now that I'm 70 or 80, I can get by on, maybe 5 hours of sleep a night. Cherries, like the Bing cherries, are one of the few natural food sources of this hormone, melatonin. And studies conducted by scientists at the University of Rochester and the University of Pennsylvania indicated that consuming tart cherry juice can facilitate sleep in some people. And you can buy tart cherry juice at any of your grocery stores. But chugging cherry juice isn't the only way to naturally boost your melatonin production. Certain snacks like bananas, some fish like salmon, tuna, and cod, pistachios, peanut butter, chickpeas, and fortified cereals contain significant amounts of vitamin B6, which is a key component in producing melatonin in your own bodies. Now, I want you to be very careful about supplements that you can buy over the counter. Talk with your doctor about any supplements. The melatonin people, the doctors will say, start with 1 milligram. Never take 3, 4, 5 milligrams of melatonin. You check with your doctor about all supplements, whether they be vitamins or melatonin, vitamin D, etc., because certain supplements can be very toxic if you take it in the wrong dose. Foods containing melatonin would be bananas, your poultry, it could be your olive oil, fruits, peaches, legumes, nuts, mushrooms, and even milk and rice, because they're fortified. Practical tips for sounder sleep. No nightcaps. Many people think that alcohol puts them to sleep. Alcohol depresses the central nervous system, but it interferes with your rapid eye movement sleep. So you never get to stage 5. 10% of chronic insomnia cases are related to alcohol consumption late at night. Quit cigarettes, because all tobacco products, nicotine is a potent central nervous system stimulant. Nicotine elevates your heart rate, your blood pressure, and your brainwave activity. And it creates the urge to void, which frequent urination during the night will interrupt your sleep at night. Energize with exercise, but try not doing it within 2 hours of going to bed. You can try just a nice gentle stroll, walking, jogging, swimming. Any type of exercise does these 3 wonderful things. You'll fall asleep faster if you exercise. You'll spend more time in deep REM sleep, and you will awaken less during the night. But remember, don't exercise up to 2 hours before going to bed, because it stimulates you so much. It's important to try different exercises. Yoga and Tai Chi, they kind of bind the body and the mind, and deep breathing, which helps you to sleep and relieve the tension. Walking helps a great deal, and it's just a matter of getting started. Watch when and what you eat and drink. Avoid eating within 2 to 3 hours of going to bed. Avoid caffeine. Avoid chocolate, coffee, teas. Avoid peppermint because that keeps you awake. And avoid fatty foods. These foods can create heartburn or GERD, gastric esophageal reflux disease, better known as reflux. If you are prone to acid reflux, elevate your upper body on pillows. Try sleeping on your left side. This helps to reduce some of the reflux going up into the esophagus. Try to reduce fluids 2 to 3 hours before bedtime to reduce the urges to go to the bathroom. You want to increase your vitamin D, which is called the sunshine vitamin, by eating fortified cereals, fortified milk products, fortified eggs, and oranges in your diet. And also remember that you need to produce vitamin D in your bodies 2 to 3 times a week. You need 20 minutes in the sunlight, whether it be as you go for a walk or if you're going swimming, just 20 to 30 minutes a day without sunscreen so that you can produce the amount of vitamin D that you need, and then come inside and apply your sunscreen for the rest of the time that you're going to be outside in the sun. But vitamin D is important, the sunshine vitamin, because it really helps to reduce insomnia. Foods that help you sleep better are, because they contain vitamin D, are your cashews and your walnuts, kiwis and berries and cherries, guacamole, oranges, salmon, the Bing cherries again, the milk, sunflower seeds, etc. Practical tips for a sounder sleep. If you're side lying, if you have GERD, make sure if you have reflux that you sleep on your left side. In summary, 10 tips for sleep, for better sleep according to the World Sleep Society. Establish a regular bedtime and waking time. Allow yourself to take a nap if you need it before 2 o'clock. No more than 30 to 40 minutes. Adjust to a healthier lifestyle regarding your substance use. Remember, 4 ounces of wine is acceptable, or 1 ounce of liquor for a man and ½ an ounce for a female daily. Create a caffeine cutoff time. It should not be consumed after 2 o'clock. Change up your bedtime snack. Remember, fatty foods keep you up at night. Watch your workout routine. You don't want to exercise within 2 hours of going to sleep. Use comfortable, inviting bedding. Find a comfortable sleep temperature setting and keep the room well ventilated. Block out all distracting noise and eliminate as much light as possible. And 10, reserve your bed for sleep and sex. Avoid it for the use of work or general recreation, or even for eating meals. There are medical conditions that can disrupt sleep, such as breathing problems, such as sleep apnea, diabetes, because there's often night sweats and frequent urination and cramps in the legs, heart disease, congestive heart failure, shortness of breath, abnormal breathing, or arrhythmias, coronary artery disease, musculoskeletal disorders like arthritis or fibromyalgia, kidney disease, such as restless leg syndrome or insomnia, mental illness, general anxiety or phobias or panic attacks, depression, bipolar disorders or schizophrenia, neurological disorders such as dementia, epilepsy, heartache, headaches, strokes, tumors, and Parkinson's disease. A lot of times people with dementia get their days and nights mixed up. Thyroid disease. An overactive thyroid stimulates your central nervous system, making it hard to fall and to stay asleep. Remember that insomnia is the most common sleep disorder. It's not a single disorder. Insomnia is usually a general symptom of a problem, like a fever or pain would be a general symptom. 50% of insomnia cases stem from psychological or emotional problems, so seek professional help. Doctors like to treat the underlying cause of insomnia, and with behavioral therapy and medications and exercise, we can help treat insomnia. So in summary, today we discussed sleeping disorders and insomnia, the stages of sleep. We discussed the EEG brainwave patterns, the importance of sleep throughout our lifetime. We discussed sleep architecture and the hypnogram. We discussed how long-term sleep loss harms our health, practical tips for a sounder sleep, and we discussed medical conditions that disrupt our sleep every day. Thank you for visiting with me today. Have a nice sleep tonight. Bye-bye.